Listen carefully, because this is the moment that decides everything. Life always tests you hardest right before it changes. As Viktor Frankl once said, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. And in that silence, his phone buzzed with a text. Don't give up. Tomorrow could be different. Just 7 words. From a friend who didn't even know how close he was to quitting. The morning after nearly giving up, he forced himself out of bed and walked into another long, draining shift at the grocery store. His uniform felt heavy, not because of its weight, but because of what it represented. Another day of survival, not progress. Every beep of the scanner echoed in his head like a countdown of wasted time. Customers came and went, barely lifting their eyes to acknowledge him, as if he were invisible. But here's the truth life was teaching him. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. He could choose comfort and stay stuck forever, or he could choose discipline and fight for something greater. So he made a decision. Every spare second at work, every break, every bus ride home, he would use to learn. While others scrolled through social media or complained about life, he opened free courses on his phone, studied financial literacy, watched motivational speeches, and wrote down goals on scraps of paper. People noticed, but not in the way you'd hope. His coworkers laughed at him. Why are you wasting your time? Do you really think reading on your phone will change your life? They mocked. Their voices stung. But he held on to one truth. A clear goal gives your pain a purpose. The hours were long. The progress was slow. But every night, when he closed his eyes, he reminded himself of Nelson Mandela's words. I never lose. I either win or I learn. And slowly, the cashier who felt invisible began to transform into someone who believed. Someone who could endure pain not because he loved it, but because he knew it was shaping him. What others saw as struggle, he began to see as training point one evening. After another exhausting day of scanning groceries and swallowing his pride, he missed his bus and had to walk home. It was raining, and the city lights blurred to the downpour like a painting of broken dreams. His shoes were soaked, his body was tired, and his mind whispered, quit, just accept this as your life. But then, something shifted. As he walked past a bookstore, he saw a quote printed on the window in bold letters. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Jim Rohn. He stopped, stood there in the rain, and for the first time, he realized something life-changing. All the knowledge he was cramming into his mind, all the goals he scribbled on scraps of paper, would mean nothing without discipline to back them up. That night, instead of collapsing into bed, he sat at his small kitchen table and made a new plan. Not just dreams, but structure. He mapped his days. Wake up early. 1 hour of study before work, 1 hour after. No excuses. No wasted minutes. He wrote a rule for himself. Comfort is the enemy. Consistency is the key. At first, it was brutal. Waking up when his body begged for sleep. Saying no to friends who wanted to hang out. Cutting back on distractions that numbed the pain but stole the future. But something magical began to happen. The fog in his life started to lift. The books made more sense. The lessons stuck. The vision got sharper. For the first time, he felt power, not the kind that comes from money or status, but from control over himself. And that was the moment discipline stopped feeling like punishment and started feeling like freedom. Months passed, and the change was undeniable. The same man who once dragged his feet to work now walked with fire in his eyes. He wasn't just surviving anymore. He was building. Every early morning study session, every late night note, every sacrifice began stacking up like bricks in a fortress. One morning, while flipping through his notebook at a cafe, a stranger noticed the complex diagrams he had drawn. Are you an engineer? The man asked. The struggling father smiled faintly and said, Not yet. That tiny exchange reminded him. People were starting to see the transformation before he even fully became it. Discipline had done something remarkable. It gave him momentum. The books that once confused him now unfolded like roadmaps. His mind, once restless and scattered, became sharp and focused, and the exhaustion he used to feel was replaced by quiet pride. He would whisper to himself, Pain is temporary. Growth is forever. Soon, opportunities followed. His consistent effort made him stand out in classes, and mentors began to take notice. One teacher even told him, "You're not the smartest student here, but you're definitely the most relentless. That will take you further than talent ever could." The father began to dream differently, not with wishful thinking, but with conviction. His children noticed it too. Instead of a tired, broken man coming home every night, they saw someone who carried himself like a leader, someone who believed in the future. He realized his discipline wasn't just changing his life. It was rewriting his family story. The rise wasn't about riches yet. It wasn't about glory. It was about something deeper. The proof that discipline can take a man from invisible to unstoppable. The day finally came when everything it fought for seemed to converge into one moment. Standing in front of a crowded auditorium, diploma in hand, he looked out and saw his children clapping with tears streaming down their faces. This was no ordinary piece of paper. It was proof that discipline, not luck, had changed their lives forever. But the true victory wasn't the certificate. It was what it represented. It was the hundreds of mornings he woke up when his body begged him to sleep. It was the countless nights he chose books over television. It was the courage to keep going when nobody believed in him. And now, as he stood there, he whispered to himself the words that carried him through. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to be. His story began to spread in the community. People who once mocked him now asked him for advice. Young men who felt lost began to see him as a mentor. And the most powerful thing? His children no longer introduced him as just their dad. They called him their hero. The victory was not in money, not in status, but in transformation. He proved himself and to the world that even when life feels unfair, the power of a disciplined mind can break chains, open doors, and create miracles. So if you're watching this right now, feeling stuck, defeated, or lost, remember his journey. Discipline won't give you results overnight, but will give you something far more valuable: strength, focus, and an unshakable belief that you are capable of more. The question is, will you choose excuses or will you choose discipline? Because the life you dream of is waiting on the other side of that choice.